Being in a relationship with a narcissist is a very difficult feat, to say the very least. The fact is, it's stressful, it's overwhelming, it kind of steals your soul a little bit. It leaves you with no sense of self. Well, today at queenbeing.com, we're going to talk about 4 types of people who narcissists tend to be attracted to. And you might be shocked when you hear who these people are. So let's get started. So like I said, relationships with narcissists are never easy. They take a lot of hard work and they take a lot of time. They take a lot of energy. They suck you dry. In fact, even when things seem like they're going really, really well in a relationship with a narcissist, many times the opposite is true. And often, even when things are swimming right along, anything could cause them to kind of flip out on you and suddenly they're full of rage and anger. And you have no idea why. It could be any little thing that triggers them. And many times we think, well, I know this person. I have a pretty good feel as to what is going to upset them or make them angry. And so I'm just going to avoid those things. And often that works. But if we're being honest, there are many situations where the narcissist kind of loses it and we have no idea why. I think in some cases, they don't even really mean to hurt you, but they're so self-focused and so driven by ego that they can't even imagine that they might actually be causing you any stress or trouble. In fact, they probably would get offended and angry if you suggested that they were. Point being, whether they are on the more mild end of the spectrum or they're on the more harsh and severe end of the cluster B spectrum, where we're talking about psychopaths and sociopaths, I think those on the more mild end of the spectrum are more likely to actually unintentionally hurt you, and the further up the spectrum you go, the closer you get to someone who might actually intentionally and in a calculated way cause you pain and stress and trouble in your life. But whether they mean to do it or they don't, very often narcissists do hurt their partners, their friends, their family members. Most of these relationships are emotionally exhausting. You walk away feeling like a shell of who you used to be. And in many cases, you get discarded. In fact, I would venture to say that in every relationship with a toxic narcissist, there is a version of being discarded, whether you are actually discarded or not. You go through cycles where you still feel like you've been kind of discarded or shoved aside. And it's the same as any relationship with a narcissist. You have your idealization phase, the love bombing time when everything's awesome and amazing. And then the narcissist starts to notice you're human and, well, they start to devalue you and kind of think less of you, knock you down off that pedestal a little bit. And then that's when you hit the discard phase where whether you are, again, actually broken up with or divorced or left behind, or you're just kind of given the silent treatment, or you're dealing with, constant stress and drama around the fact that you aren't whoever the narcissist said you're supposed to be. Well, then what it comes down to is that it's a form of the discard. It might be done over and over again for decades, but it's still feeling and being discarded, at least in the moment. Now, here's where you're going to be surprised. A lot of people think, well, narcissists must only go for people who are easy to manipulate. Maybe they're not all that smart. Maybe they're kind of slow, or maybe they're just not, they just don't have it going on. Or maybe they're weak, because in our minds, we think narcissists must be looking for people who are weak, right? Because they want someone they can control, someone they can overcome, overpower, be the boss of. But here's the shocker. That's actually the opposite of true. Narcissists want someone who has characteristics maybe they don't have, or who owns certain qualities or certain things that they want. Maybe that person has certain talents that the narcissist admires, or that person has certain character traits that the narcissist wants or thinks that other people want. Or maybe that person is really, really good looking and the narcissist feels like they could be some sort of trophy. Or maybe that person's really strong-willed and they really know what they want in life and they have all the things happening that are moving them in that direction. Personally, I think that narcissists who meet amazing people like you and who manage to get you under control, who manage to manipulate you and gaslight you and make you think you're not good enough or make you think you're crazy or whatever it is they're trying to make you think, they see you as a challenge, you see. They feel more accomplished if they're able to actually stop you from feeling good about yourself. from feeling like you are strong-willed. And yet, of course, on the flip side of that, they also find themselves feeling like they're not as attracted to you when you are broken. So what I mean is they might see you like a wild horse that needs to be tamed and broken. And that might be very attractive to them. But once they actually do tame and break you, suddenly they're bored with you. They've got nothing else to say, nothing else to do. They're done. Sound familiar? Bottom line, whatever it is that the narcissist likes about you, they will inevitably try to destroy that thing in you. So maybe you have a really great career and you're successful and your life is awesome. And the narcissist wants in on that. And yet somehow during the course of your relationship, the narcissist manages to destroy or at least slow down your career. Or maybe you're someone who has a public persona and they want to be with you on the red carpet everywhere you go. And suddenly they start some kind of drama that causes your career to go down the tubes. Maybe they're jealous that you have a really good relationship with someone in your family, your whole family. They want to be part of it. And yet as you take them to family events and do all these things, they're constantly undermining and undercutting. And before you know it, you're estranged from your family. Not only do narcissists want to isolate you in order to control you, but they want to destroy the things in your life that are good. Because people with narcissistic personality disorder tend to see you and other people in their lives as extensions of themselves, they are always looking for people who are one step above them or 10 steps above them. And not only does that make them feel like they've conquered something by getting your attention and getting you to be with them or spend time with them, but it also sort of makes them feel as though they have accomplished what you have accomplished. So without further ado, let's talk about the 4 types of people that narcissists are most often attracted to. See if you can find yourself in this mix. The first one we just kind of talked about. It's someone who makes them look good, someone who looks good on their arm, or someone who has accomplished something that the narcissist can kind of glom onto and be part of. Someone who makes them look and feel like they're a better person for being involved with that person. So for example, let's say you are a minister at a church. Well, a narcissist might glom onto you if they want to become popular at the church. Or let's say that you are the most popular teacher at school and you are teacher of the year. Well, the narcissist, let's say they're a new teacher. They come into the school and as soon as they find out you're teacher of the year, they're your best friend. Or maybe you're super fit or you're super attractive. And the narcissist sees that and goes, I need to get me some of that. They feel more attractive just by being with you. They feel more fit just by being with you. Or they feel like they can prove something by getting you because you're some kind of trophy. Number 2, the narcissist looks for someone who validates them, someone who listens to their feelings, listens to what they have to say, and tells them, honey, you're so right. I totally get it. This person will find all the things that are right with the narcissist and lift those things up. And any flaws the narcissist has, this person will minimize and sort of shove aside in order to make the narcissist feel good. I think I was this type of person, and I still am up to a point, but I always felt like I needed to help my people in my life, whether they were my friends or family members or partners, to feel better about themselves. And so it was my mission in each relationship to lift up that person and make them feel better about themselves. And when that's done, a lot of times a narcissist will dump you and walk away, or they'll use you for supply because you validate them so well. Does that ring true for you? And number 3 is kind of similar to number 2, but it's a little different. This is someone whose sole purpose in the narcissist's mind will make them feel good about themselves. Now, this could be a combination of 1 and 2. This could be somebody who looks really good and validates everything they say and feel. Or it's someone who just lifts them up for who they are. This person will give them lots of compliments and lots of shows of affection, maybe a public display of affection, or maybe they'll Facebook call them out for being amazing or whatever it is. This person is all about not just privately lifting this person up, but also publicly and making that person feel like $1 million. And then finally, number 4, which we've kind of already touched on, the person who has stuff going on in the positive for them, whether this is someone who is strong family relationships or a great career, or someone who is a model and they're walking the runway. This is a person that the narcissist feels is impressive to them in some way. So it's someone who they almost feel like they have to reach up to get. And if we're being honest, all four of these people on some level are someone the narcissist has to reach up to get. Because even the narcissist who has everything, even a narcissist who is wealthy financially and has everything going on for them, they very often miss the important things in life. They don't have any real connections with people. They don't have any real friends or people they can count on because they have alienated everyone, or because the people who are in their lives are just scared of them and they're only doing what they do in order to avoid the narcissistic rage coming their way. We already know that narcissists have a lot of negative personality qualities. We already know that they want something that doesn't exist. I talked in a previous video about how narcissists seem to want a unicorn. I'll try to link that for you right there. But in addition to that, they have these outrageous expectations that are unrealistic for partners and family members, friends, coworkers, anyone who's going to be close to them. And of course, they have the object constancy issue. So if they're angry at you, they can't love you in that same moment. While it seems like a narcissist's main goal is to jump in there and kind of just tear you to shreds, that's not really always the case. The fact is, because of the lack of empathy, many times the narcissist doesn't even realize or care what their behavior is doing to you. That's because they are so very focused on their own issues, whatever's going on in their head. They are ego-driven. It's not always about low self-esteem. Sometimes it's just about control. Now, there are certain narcissists, the covert types, who self-esteem is sort of what drives their destruction of other people. There are other narcissists, the more overt, grandiose types, who really just feel entitled to have things the way they want them and entitled to the rage that they get when they don't get things the way they want them. And they think that you should be equally concerned about that rage and about that entitlement. It should be your job to help enforce that. But there are those who really do take true pleasure in destroying the people closest to them. And those are the ones you really need to watch out for, the really malignant, toxic types of narcissists. Just remember that in most cases, whatever the psychology behind the behavior is, narcissists are there to take care of their own needs, to focus on what they want, and they take some level of pleasure in watching you crumble, watching you be destroyed. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Sometimes it's just an amusement to them. It's a little game they play with themselves. You're probably asking yourself, how do I deal with this? Well, there are a lot of different techniques that you can use, but I think the primary thing you need to focus on is if you're already in the relationship, you need to avoid letting the narcissist see you cry, avoid letting them feel your emotions, positive or negative. Start using the gray rock method and then work on extracting yourself from the pit that is that relationship. Whether you do it fully by going no contact, or you're in a relationship where you have children together or business together or something like that, and you can only go partially no contact, low contact. Either way, it's going to make your life a lot better, a lot faster. Stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to offer you some more solutions. But until then, take a look at the playlist I'm leaving for you right there. It will help you to learn how to cope with this and move forward in your life toward healing. All right, that's all I've got for you right now. But as always, thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. While I'm here, I want to say a quick thank you to everyone who supports me through the YouTube membership program. I sincerely appreciate your efforts, and it means the world to me. And to everyone who comments on my videos, likes my videos, subscribes to my videos, thank you. It means the world to me, and it helps me to reach more survivors of narcissistic abuse to help them become thrivers. Thank you so much. Before I go, I want to just remind you to take a look at the videos I'm leaving for you here and there. And while you're here, hit that subscribe button so we can stay connected and continue on this healing journey together. I'll see you soon.